everybody, welcome to my channel. The team over at SoftFlex Company has done it again. This is the Thanks a Latte Design Challenge Kit for the month of October 2025. And to start off with, two of my very favorite things that I buy regularly all the time are in the box. The Antique Brass Color Metallics 49 strand bead stringing wire. That's the color. We got a spool of that. And my favorite crimp tubes in the world are the SoftFlex #2 crimp tubes, and these are the gold filled ones, which are my absolute favorites. I buy them regularly. I use them like crazy. If you like the look of the magical crimping plier and you're having issues making it work for you, give these a try. Other crimp tubes, even the ones that are made by the company that makes the magical crimping plier, they will work, but these have a triple thickness of the wall and they are amazing. You can also fold over crimp these and other, but if you like the look of turning the tube into a little bead with a magical crimping plier, these are wonderful. They're just the best. So the other items here are gold-plated ear wires and a lobster claw clasp. These absolutely adorable little latte charms. Aren't they sweet? They're so pink and chocolatey, and they have a little heart in the middle. And there are two teeny tiny little pieces of cake with strawberries on top. So I love this color story so much because it's like coffee with like a strawberry whipped topping, or a piece of, a strawberry sugar cookie or something with coffee. That's what I see because they popped some pink in the mix. So I just absolutely love it. There are these teeny tiny little pink and chocolate latte cups. They're so cute. And I love this bead. This is so gorgeous. This is a 10mm bead and it's pink ceramic, and they have really nice large holes. So I love my waxed cord projects, and with a hole like this you can put several strands, just make a really gorgeous piece with this. I'm gonna have to do a whole design around this bead because I love it so much. That is like the perfect color in Joey land. And in the ceramic glaze on this, there is like some dots and a little bit of color variation. They're just absolutely wonderful. And then look at this, you guys. This is a 6x8mm brown check glass rondelle. I just love the Picasso finish on this. And for glass, I don't know how well the camera is rendering the flash that's in there, but for a glass bead, it almost has a gemstone quality, and that's because of the cut and the facets on that. And then this is amazing. These are 7mm teal fire polish check glass faceted rounds, and I love them. And so I'm just nuts about check glass anyway. And look at this one. These are 4mm brown check glass fire polish, and so I love these together. I love them. But what I really love, SoftFlex Company partners with Jesse James beads. So in their design challenge kit every month, there's a Jesse James bead mix, and this one's called Thanks a Latte, and I'll show you what's in there. But I did pull out a few of my favorite beads from the mix, and look at the beautiful faceted pink round crystals. Isn't that a gorgeous color combination? This like chocolate, teal, and pink. It's just so beautiful. So yes, you guessed it, I am going to do a bracelet with these beads as soon as I'm finished showing you what's in the box. And there are a couple more of these in the mix. These are like a table cut, and they are gilded around the edge. Teardrops, the drill hole goes up the middle, and I think I need to make a pair of earrings with those. And then in the mix, there are quite a few of these. I think there's 4 or 6, I have to count, but these have little hearts. It's a large hole spacer, and they're just absolutely beautiful. And you guys know I love pink and gold, and I love chocolate. Like, this is just all the things. And so look at the cute little graphic with the little to-go coffee on the front. I love these textile crocheted beads, and don't they look like coffee creamer or sweater weather? They're just so cozy. And in this mix are also these chocolate ceramic cubes. I'm just gonna dump it out. Aren't these cool? You know, I just love ceramic beads. And awesome little these look like little ice cubes for an iced latte. There are gold filigree bead caps in here and beautiful little coffee creamer colored faceted crystal rondelles and some little gold crystal rondelle spacers. I mean, this is just a totally beautiful mix. I'm going to pull out the pink crystals while I have this in my hand because I might need these. I don't know my pattern yet for my bracelet, but I know that I'm going to use those in my bracelet. And then look, this is so sweet. We got a little pair of coffee bean earrings in our design challenge kit, and it's so cute. I love these little coffee bean beads, and I love this faceted check glass. This colorway here is just amazing. And doesn't this kind of look like a coffee house? You know, like just a cozy, like bring your book, get a latte and sit and read in a coffee house. So if you wanted to, you could disassemble these and, you know, deconstruct them and reconfigure them. But isn't it sweet just to have like a wonderful little seasonal earring to play with and to wear, you know, with our sweater weather. It's just so, I just love everything the SoftFlex company does such a great job with their kit every month. Okay, I'm going to move some things out of the way and we're going to make a bracelet. Okay, I have a round of memory wire here, and I also have some pink metallic seed beads from the craft store. I just thought they looked amazing to pop in a little bit more pink here, so I'm going to just dump some on my mat. And I'm also going to be using some of my 24 gauge SoftFlex gold craft wire. So I'm going to pull a length of this off of here. Need to order another spool. And I'm just not going to measure. I'm just going to eyeball like this is maybe 24 to 30 inches. And I'm just going to have that little bit of wire ready. And I'm going to take my snub nose plier and go ahead and put a coil on one end. So I'm just going to line that up. And I like to do at least 2 coils. So I'll start off with 2. I really like 3, but I'm going to put 2 in, and I can always come back and coil one more time after I'm done stringing if I want that third one. I just like the way it looks. It's thickened up a little bit. And so I've got my little coil in the end. I'm using my snub nose pliers, which, you know, keeps from putting stress on your regular pliers. And then I'm going to cut open these strands. Okay, this is going to be a memory wire bracelet, a single coil with a twist. I'm going to do a little twist to it. So to start out with, I'm going to put, what do I want to start with? I'm going to start with one of these check glass beads. Oh my goodness, that is the most gorgeous bead. And I absolutely love that I can see my gold, that little gold line of wire through just a little bit. I love that. And then I'm going to switch to a crystal rondelle spacer here, and then let me see if I want to do a bead cap or just let the crystal bump up against. Oh wow, that's so pretty. Yep, that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to so pretty. And then I'm going to put this here, and at this point I am going to come in with my wire that I cut, and I am just going to come right here. It's going to be a little bit to manage at first until I get it secure, but I'm just going to get a few little wraps around my memory wire, get my SoftFlex 24 gauge around my memory wire a couple of times. pull those coils together. And I'm going to bring this down to the end of my beads here. I'm just going to snip that end and kind of chase that wire around my memory wire, and I'm going to push those coils, push everything toward my bead, just like that. And now I'm going to start with my chocolate beads. Going to feed one of those on, and I'm going to grab my pink, some of my pink seed beads on my wire here. So let me start out with 7. I'm going to let those come down and see how I feel about that quantity. I just want to make a little like a little embellishment, just curve it around. Just want to make like a little embellishment, just kind of curve it around. It's almost making like a little pink metallic lace, and I really like that. So I am going to get in here and put my thumb and my finger over everything and get a few more wraps. I'm going to try to do the same amount that I started with, so it's like 5. So that's 3, 4, 5. Sorry if the wire is hitting the camera. And then I'm going to use my nylon jaw here and just push everything together and push everything up against my beads. And then I can, you know, just with my hands, I can kind of sculpt that little embellishment that I've created. You can also put your pliers in the loop on the inside just to spread out the wire gently. So I'm going to come here and add on another chocolate bead. And I'm just going to go around the entire length of this bracelet, just creating a little bead pattern here with the pink, the teal, and the chocolate. And so I'm also going to alternate my sides. So if you noticed that my wire started on this left side and I finished wrapping over here on the right side. So if I wanted more, I would go again, but then stop over here so that I can go back and forth between the sides of my line of beads. So I don't know if I want to do 7 every time. I'm going to do 7 again. So I'm going to repeat that same thing here. I'm just going to push those beads down and get my chocolate bead in here before I wrap, and just like curve that around. I hope you can tell what I'm doing. I always find it helpful to keep my thumb and finger over my work. Gives me control. So I'm hiding what I'm doing, but it's in essence, it's the wrapping that, you know, that you just want to get it neat. And I don't even worry about if it's spread out. I try to get my wraps nice and tight. And then I'm just going to come in again and use my nylon jaw part of my plier to push everything together. That is gorgeous. Give this another little tidy up. And I'm on this side now, so I'm going to keep going, and I'm just going to repeat. And I think what I'm going to do so that I evenly mix my 3 colors is do a little section of 3 of these chocolate beads, and then go back and play with pattern, adding my other 2 colors in with my pattern. And so I'm going to do another bead station, and so here you have the choice of sliding these down and, you know, smoothing this wire out and running it through. You can cut it off and then reattach a new piece when you're ready to keep going. But what I think I'm going to do is put some seed beads on this wire and do a creative like wrap around my bead station so that the pink seed beads are like orbiting this station. So I'm going to load this up with some pink metallic seed beads and play with a really artisan, just like a wire embellishment. I love the way that wire looks laying across beads, and especially when you have like the gold and then the metallic seed beads, like it adds something really dimensional and just something lovely, and adding in that other, you know, a little bit more pink too. The other thing you can do, I'm holding on to my bracelet with my thumb and finger, but you can use a silicone earring back when you're designing on these and just run it up there. And, you know, if you need like an extra hand to hold your beads in place, I'm going to try to keep going like this with just my, you know, just my hand. That is looking so great, and all I'm doing is like orbiting this little bead station and looking to see if I need more seed beads, and I do. I need a few more so that I can reach the end of this bead station and wrap again. I'm just going to come right in there and resume some wraps around the memory wire. Okay, and my last little picot loop, my little lace loop over here. So I'm finishing on this side so that I can resume doing my loops on here. And I'm just going to kind of place this little embellishment where I want it. That is so beautiful. So, so beautiful. Okay, let me tighten these wraps up and keep going just like that. Now that I have my little pattern, I'm going to just keep going. This is absolutely the dreamiest, most magical bracelet. I love the way that it turned out. It's just so beautiful. So just a couple of things. I happened to guess pretty right about the length of my fine gauge wire. I ended right here. And from that point, I decided to go ahead and finish this last bead station the same way that I started, being plain, because I want to put some dangles on the ends. And I did want a pretty good overlap, so I went ahead and finished with this little pattern on this end. But it would be super easy to add in some more fine gauge wire, you know, if I had wanted to keep going. And like I said, I believe there's space through these beads to run it through the middle of the beads to hide where you're adding in, or just do really nice neat wraps right behind the other ones. But I guessed pretty well with my amount. It's a little bit hard to tell because it's so freeform, the spiraling, and you know, it's a little bit hard to measure that. And I will say too that when you take a really long length of wire, like I had maybe 26 inches or so, that's more to manage as you're doing these kinds of wraps. When the wire got shorter, of course, the wrapping was much easier. I wasn't getting tangled up in things. So maybe so that, you know, if you feel like you're not really, I'm not graceful with wire, but if you feel like you're a little challenged with your wire working, maybe that would be the trick for you, is to do shorter lengths of wire and keep adding in. Okay, so I just, you know, one of the things when I do a design, I really want you to be able to make it if you like the project. So if I've already figured those things out, and I'm going to do the same thing. When you do these coils, it's not wrong to turn it down toward your wrist, and I see people doing that, but I don't like that because I don't want this biting into my wrist, and I want to put charms on it, and I want them to kind of lay on the top. So I'm going to just do some wraps, just wrap back toward my beads. So I have a nice, neat coil, and I've already designed my charm. So it looks like this. I've used every one of the crystals in the box, and what I added in is a ball head pin and these really beautiful, delicately filigreed gold double bead caps. So you can accomplish the same look pretty much with two regular bead caps back to back, but there's something about these little hourglass shaped bead caps that is just so gorgeous. So that is my little bauble, and I'm doing two. I'm going to do one for each loop. So I'm just going to put a simple loop in the top here, bend my wire, get my round nose plier in there, and just wrap that over the barrel, rotate, bring this wire around, and these head pins, I don't remember where I got them, but they are so tough. They're a very thick gauge. So, and I want my loop to be pretty round. So I'm just going to take my cutters and snip right where the two wires meet. And then just open that simple loop and attach it. I'm going to attach one of these charms to each loop. Oh, what a gorgeous bracelet. Oh my, I love, love, love this so much. The SoftFlex company just did an amazing job once again with their design challenge kit. I love it. I thank them so much. If you open my description box, you tap more right beneath the title of the video, and there you will see links to the SoftFlex company, and I'll try to link my double bead caps if I can find them in one of my past orders and link them for you. And I thank you so much for watching, and as always, I've lately been reminding people to take a second to give my video a thumbs up. It really helps support my work. And if you see the new feature, the new update to YouTube, the algorithm is offering the possibility to hype a video, and not everybody's seeing it just yet because it's very new, but you're allowed to do it 3 times a week. And if you would do one of my videos, tap that hype button, that would be so greatly appreciated. I thank you all so much for watching. I hope the fall is wonderful for you so far, and I will see you guys in the next video.